hear us sing, Mike. They want to hear us sing.
Hey, Facebook, they do not want to sing Golden Dream because we're getting ready for
They do want to hear us sing Golden Dreams. I can't wait. We need to get a video of Mike sing Golden Dreams wearing my ears in front of the American Adventure.
I am, because I love our country.
Mike's like, I hate you both right now.
Hand over your heart.
Yes, hand over your heart.
Kids even say the Pledge of Allegiance in school anymore. I heard
I don't
sometimes
think
they
so.
don't.
My kids,
I don't think so.
we always, well, they didn't play the national anthem, which bugged me, but I couldn't do that because I wasn't in the office. But we were very much talking about our country in our classroom. Anyway, hey, Facebook, happy Monday night. We're getting ready to record 2 shows. Vicky's
happy Monday.
We are. It's gonna be fun.
I wonder why I have on Buzz Lightyear ears. No, why do I have props like my buddy Buzz? What? Hello, Earthlings.
I can't wait to ride Slinky Dog. First of all, I've heard it's more thrilling.
I have
than
too.
one would expect.
I heard it goes upside down.
It does not.
No.
Boss, does it go upside down? Why,
No.
yes, Ranger.
No, it doesn't. Stop spreading
No,
lies.
upside down. It's a family-friendly coaster.
It is a family-friendly coaster. So
Family friendly upside down.
no, it does
But
not
it is
mean upside
thrilling.
down.
Howdy, partner.
Stop spreading lies.
I'm ready to do a podcast. Yeah.
Oh, Buzz and Woody sound surprisingly alike.
Oh, Lord.
I've told you guys that I really, really, really want to take a picture of my cat, Professor Snape, in one of my boots so I can have a Snape in my boot.
Oh my God.
But he's too fat to fit in my boot.
Wah, wah.
I'm so
Away from
sad.
the computer while we're doing the podcast because he's got a Harry Potter name.
He does. He does have a Harry Potter name.
Wrong.
So. Brian named him, by the way, not me. Brian did. So
That's better. Okay, I love Brian.
Brian named the cat.
He did. By the way, he loves Brian, doesn't love me. So there's that. But anyway, yeah, Brian named the cat. He had just finished reading my Harry Potter books, and he's like, we found Snape, and he's like, let's name him Professor Snape.
What are you holding? What's that blue thing? I can't see it.
It's not blue. It's a coffee cup.
Oh, it's a coffee cup. Can't see it.
My friend's
Now you're
coffee
making
cup.
me thirsty.
Now, let me see.
Right.
Okay, now, it says Friends. You know what? We just sent Scott the Gardeners a copy of a Friends board game Saturday.
Ooh, exciting. Yes, because he's a big Friends fan, just like me.
Remember,
He
he
could
went
do-
around asking everybody if they'd ever seen the show Friends after we did our tequila tasting. He asked the whole.
Yes.
if
Well,
they-
he did trivia recently, and we talked about it, and I would have helped them out with one of the questions because I knew the answer that they missed. So, just
Alright, you know
saying,
what?
I'm pretty awesome.
We don't get
Friends
paid
trivia.
for the pre-show. We only get paid for the big show. So let's get going here.
We don't even get paid for the big show. So,
When did we start getting paid?
if Mike's getting paid and we're not Pam, I think we need to have a conversation. So.
We're going to talk about our listeners paid me this week in the ultimate way. We're going to talk about that.
It's not even right, by the way. I'm just saying it's not even right.
Let's get to
Not
it.
right.
Oh, hang on. I got to write down the numbers. What are the numbers, by the way? It is.
I don't know. You got to say them right this time.
I have them so messed up over the next 2 weeks where I've recorded ahead because I recorded one out of the sequence and then I got them all mixed up. But I got them right on the podcast feed. I just got them wrong when I said
He's
it.
terrible. I'm just saying.
1347 is Q's, and then 13.
Oh, Jeanette's here. She and I have been talking about the cruise that we're both taking.
Is Friday. Okay, so here we go. Jeanette gonna be in Indy. All right, here we go.
Also Canada.
Same thing.
Not the same thing.
What are we singing? All the World Showcase Pavilions now? Come on.
I can do it.
Hi, Canada.
The Japan Pavilion's like. That's what it is. All right, let's do this. We're gonna do this. Okay, 1347. Here we go.
Okay.
Don't say anything. Here we go.
1347.
Correct.
Not 1348.
No, that's Friday. That'll be in 30 minutes. Here we go.
1597. Not that.
You're gonna screw them up.
Okay, here we go. Welcome to episode 1347 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and magicalmouseradio.com. So check that out if you need a little Disney fix in your day. It's great on all the listening devices, your Google Home, your Amazon Echo. You can just yell at it, tell it to play Magical Mouse Radio on TuneIn, and bam, you might be somewhere in Animal Kingdom, or, maybe it's the pre-illuminations loop over at Epcot. It's awesome. So check that out today. But you're not here for that. You're here for great listener questions, and that's what we're going to give you. I have to get through today's show because tomorrow I'm going down to Walt Disney World. I can't stand it. So let's get this thing out of the way. No, let's not get out of the way. I love doing this show, but man, I can't wait to get on that plane and go down to Florida. Anyway, joining me today to answer these listener questions, and surprisingly, she's going to be at Walt Disney World. She gave in. It's Ricky from DisneyWorldAfterAll.com, TouringPlans.com, and The Mouse for Less. We knew you would do it, Ricky. We had no doubt you were going to be there.
Here's all I can say. Peer pressure is real, people.
It was self-imposed.
It was definitely self-imposed peer pressure. FOMO is real. I'm just saying. So I didn't want FOMO. So I decided that I needed to make a spur of the moment decision and head down to Walt Disney World this weekend. So I will be there for Toy Story Land. Woo! I won't be there for the media event, but I will be there for Toy Story. So I'm very excited. Yay! And I get to be with you guys, which I'm very excited about too. So I mean, that's really more of the FOMO than actually Toy Story Land for me. But I wanted to be there for everything. So
you want to see Buzz and Woody when you can see Mike and Pam.
Exactly. You two are like peanut butter and jelly. So I love it.
Oh, I love that. All right, so let me. I gotta. We were talking about this before the show, Ricky, and we're getting into it. Of course, I'm sporting the Buzz ears. If you're listening to the audio feed, obviously most people do, and you can't see that. So I'm really pumped for this trip. But what got me even more excited for this podcast was the love of our listeners. And so earlier this week, I get this, Mallory goes out to the mailbox and brings the mail in, and I get a letter, a piece of mail here, and it doesn't have a return address. So I'm kind of, should I open it? Yeah, I'm curious. I always open everything. I open it up, and it's a mysterious letter just thanking us for doing the podcast, and included 2 Taco Bell gift cards and a coupon to Gingham's family restaurant here in St. Louis. No signature. So mystery listener, I love you. I love you. You are
all I can say,
because it was Gingham's, so I think
that's true.
So I'm trying to figure it out.
All I can say is Ricky accepts Starbucks gift cards. I'm just saying.
Saying they'll be fueling my fire here in about an hour and a half. All right. So anyway,
right. Yes, there will definitely be fire, but that's another. Never mind. Another story.
24 hours. Anyway, Rick,
yes.
Pam, joining us from the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday, Pam. What's going on?
Happy Wednesday. And I just wanted to say we've received so many nice notes about our podcast recently. Just different little things that people have written in and said, hey, I love this, enjoy this, whatever. And I think I was just sitting here thinking about it this weekend because it was so weird because none of us are professional podcasters, or at least I was not until we came and did this.
Not till we started this.
I don't know that we can call us professional at this point either.
I don't either, but somebody.
We are podcasters, I guess, sort of by accident. Mike had a definite, desire and, some skill in this space. But anyways, and then it's funny because one of the overwhelming things that so many people write about when they write to us about the podcast is they say, I love how you're so positive. And I thought that was really, really cool just in thinking about that. And we aren't, the funny thing about that was we aren't really positive because we don't ever disagree with something Disney does, or we don't think they make bad decisions or whatever. I think for us, what came first is that we were Disney fans. True. And so then when we look about things that we're going to talk about, there are so many things that we find positive about the experience that it's really easy to focus on those things that we find to be really positive and not reflect on the bad things. And not only that, but I mean, I don't know too many people who are planning to go to Disney who really want to listen to us complain about Disney and then still go to Disney. It just seems a little contrary. But anyways, I think the reason, I just wanted to point that out, that the reason isn't that we wear rose-colored glasses all the time or anything else like that. The reason is that there are so many things. We are unapologetically Disney fans. Unapologetically Disney fans first.
Well said.
And that there's so many positive things. So that's what we focus on. So anyways, Love that. Love all of that.
Haven't slept for a week. I mean, that's the first thing, like I'm so lucky now that I actually get to make my living working in the Disney hemisphere, helping people plan vacations, which is a dream come true. But I mean, like you said, first and foremost, man, I have not slept well, part of it's the 2019 package release. I mean, clear, bring me back to life. Cause I've been, my fingers are nubs at this point, but I'm still going. But I mean, more than that, it's like, Thursday, I get to go to my favorite place again. I get, and I've been watching, instead of watching The Price is Right while I'm working in the, in my office in the morning, I'm watching like walkthroughs of all the resorts and, I love it.
It is. And that's what I think is so important. That's the takeaway from this, is that even after all these years, I still get as excited, perhaps maybe even more excited as the trips come up. And it's just so cool. It's an easy thing to do, to find something to like about Disney. So
well said. All right, let's get to the first question today. It's from Katie. He says, "Hi, Mike. My husband just surprised me this week by saying yes to a long weekend trip in Disney this October. I'm so excited, but as a result, we are a bit last minute for dining reservations as we're already past the 180-day mark. We're going to go to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party one of the days, and we understand we can get into the park at 4 p.m. with those tickets. I was trying to find something to do, somewhere fun to eat before heading to the party. In one of the only ADRs I could find for a resort restaurant was for afternoon tea at the Garden View Tea Room. I'm wondering, have any of you on the Be Our Guest podcast team tried this place? Money. I've been listening for a while and haven't heard you mention it, so I thought I'd ask. Thanks so much, Katie. Now, before we get to that answer, this brought up a memory, and this is another Be Our Guest podcast memory from years ago. I mean, years ago. Do you guys remember when we went to the Halloween party? This was, I think, the time I was Captain EO. I think we ate at Kona before the party. Was that? And there was a guy that was so drunk in there. He got
yes.
He stood on the table. He was dressed like Captain.
Yes.
He was like shaking. He had a sword, and he was like wanting to like mutiny in the middle.
He yelled at Tortuga.
Yeah, they had to take the guy out. He didn't even get to go to the Halloween party, I don't think. So, oh my God, I still remember that. That was like probably 8 years ago. Anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Pam, Katie's question: What do you think about the Garden View room and the afternoon tea and all that? Whatever she has.
Yes. So not only do I think that it's a good idea, but our group will be experiencing it because we have reservations there one day. Pinky's out. No, so the Garden View Tea is actually really fun. They have a lot of different things from which you can choose. A few of the options are one that include some tea sandwiches, which are really yummy. I just have to tell you this. They're good. Then it also includes scones, which are, if you've never had a scone with clotted cream, with Devonshire cream and some jam and whatnot on them, yum. So good. And then you get to pick dessert. So it's more than just tea. There's lots of things from which you can choose. You can also choose a cheese plate if you prefer. There's lots of good food there. And we always really enjoy ourselves. And where else can you get afternoon tea? Not too many places. So it's fun.
I think that's too. That's the challenge of like with a Halloween party. You can, well, it's not a challenge. It's actually a blessing because you can go and you can have a chill day up till the party because you're going to be out late.
Yes.
The party's fun, but that's a great opportunity to sleep in, have a pool day, go to a resort, have a late lunch, early dinner. Because the thing is, you don't want to waste your time having a big dinner during the party.
Right.
You probably want to grab a burger or maybe split some fajitas or something at Pecos Bill's, if you get hungry, say 9 o'clock. Because you got to have like a fifth meal.
Well, if it's anything like last year, though, they brought out, last year at least, they introduced a whole smattering of different pastries and things like that for people to enjoy specifically during the Halloween party. There was a pumpkin like mousse at Gaston's Tavern that I tried, and those terrible Hall of Presidents, Haunted Mansion, Portrait Room desserts. Those were awful. Don't get those if they have those this year. But they had a bunch of desserts that you could enjoy throughout the parties too. So that might be something that you just snack around all the different things that they're going to have this year. Because I'm sure they are bringing back a bunch of those things this year too. So even though they haven't announced them yet.
Let's get to a question from Ashley here in the Facebook chat. Again, we're on Facebook, usually around 5:30 Eastern on Monday evenings. Not for the next couple of weeks because we're recording early, getting ahead. But when we get back from vacation, we'll be back on Monday nights. She says, thinking of booking my first Disney cruise. What are the most important things to know to get started? Pam, what do you say? If somebody's looking for that first Disney cruise, I would say the biggest thing for me is there's not as much planning, near as much planning as a Walt Disney World vacation. Like you pick a date. You have 3 basic choices for a stateroom. You have an inside, and on the bigger ship, you get that cool virtual porthole. You can get a stateroom with a regular porthole, or you can get a veranda. There's also concierge if you want to go that route. But, pick a date, pick an itinerary, and then, there's not a whole lot, watch a lot of videos and just kind of sit back. It's a lot more hands-off. But what would you say, Pam?
Well, so the thing that I think is the most important to note is with a cruise, the earlier you book, the best that you'll have access to the best pricing and the best availability. And that's how it works with Disney Cruise Line and a lot of other cruise lines in particular. As the ship fills up, the price increases for those very same staterooms that you could have gotten less expensively earlier on. So as soon as you pick a date, go ahead and get with a travel agent or call Disney Cruise Line and make those reservations so that you have something secured. I personally really prefer a veranda stateroom. Yeah, I know, big shocker, right? But I will tell you why. The first cruise we took was actually in a veranda stateroom. Once you do a veranda stateroom, it's very hard to go back to any other type of stateroom.
Yeah,
I'm trying it this time. I'm trying it here in September, and we'll see what'll happen with me. Yeah, we'll see.
But my reason for that was that I just like, in my mind, knowing that I can open that door. It just does something for me mentally. I mean, of course, I love sitting out there and I love being able to enjoy the view and blah, 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 blah. But in addition to all those other things, I really liked the idea of being able to open that veranda stateroom if need be. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't have a fantastic cruise in an inside stateroom. You can. But sometimes have your agent compare a couple different categories so you know what the difference is going into it. Mm-hmm. I would also say, too, for my first cruise, I would like it to be at least 4 nights. I know, because the 3 nights go so quickly. Not that you can't have a good time, but it seems like you're just figuring out the ship and where everything is, and then it's time to go home. 4 nights just seems to give you a little bit of cushion. And on the 4-night cruises, then you can do stuff like book Palo brunch. Mm-hmm. And that, for me, I think that's a huge plus, being able to book that meal. And that's my another one of my tips. Absolutely, if you can, enjoy some of those adult-only restaurants and activities, because Disney Cruise Line does them as well or better than many other cruise lines. So don't think that just because you're going on Disney Cruise Line that it's only for the kids. It's for the adults too.
One other tip, I just did a podcast. It's going to come out on a Monday here in a couple of weeks with a guest who, they did a land sea honeymoon and it was their first Disney cruise. They did a 3-night to the Bahamas and had a great time. But what her takeaway was that she felt like she didn't do enough research going in. Now you don't have to do a lot of things, but it's kind of good to know, like, in general, what kind of offerings they're going to be. There's going to be shows each evening in the main theater. There's going to be movies, first-run movies. There's going to be, smaller activities put on by the cruise director staff, trivias, karaoke contests, game shows. And she felt like, since it was a 3-night cruise, that it went so quickly, and she wished she would have known those kind of things, because going on the fly for 3 nights was really, really a challenge. She felt like she missed a lot. So, you can look around and find personal navigators from cruises that are running similar itineraries. They change them up, but they keep them pretty, pretty stable. You can find a lot of the activities. You might want to look into those things. So, Ricky, you're going on a cruise here in September, going to Canada.
I am. I just booked I just hit the 90-day mark, so I finally got to do online check-in. So that's my first tip. Once you get that cruise booked, make sure since it would be the first cruise for you, it'll be at 75 days, but make sure you participate in online check-in. It allows you to expedite the process so you don't have to do as much when you get to the port, but it also allows you to pick the time that you arrive at the port, that kind of thing. And this is when you will be able to pick the excursions that you want to do, should you decide that you want to do them with Disney. The best thing I can do, or advice I can give is, especially because like with us, I've never been to Canada. I don't know a lot of, exciting things to do in Canada. So we kind of did a little bit of research on YouTube and stuff like that to see what other people had done on their Canada cruises and stuff like that. But then we also went through the Disney listing of all their excursions that they had and looked at some of the things that they offered. We booked one of them through Disney. You don't have to book like every day, have an excursion planned. Like, sometimes it's fun to go by the seat of your pants kind of thing. So I definitely wouldn't suggest having every day booked with an excursion. And that's something we didn't do. We only booked one day so far. There are a couple things that I'm still looking at that are listed on Disney Cruise that we may decide to do on our own. So it's just, you kind of got to make that decision too. But you're going to have a really great time. I mean, honestly, cruising is so relaxing. So it's amazing. It is addicting. And I mean, you're going to have a great time and you're going to get to see parts of the world that you never thought you'd be able to see, which is kind of the great part about cruising.
Yeah, if it wasn't for cruising, I would have never left the country, because that's the only time I ever have left the country. So it's fun. One last thing. I know this is kind of self-serving, but I mean, Pam gets it. You should book with a travel agent because you're going to get an onboard credit that spends
yes.
It's going to be the same price like with your Disney Cruise Line. And you know what? It'll probably cover your Palo reservations. It'll probably cover maybe a spa treatment.
Yes.
Why not? So I happen to know a couple, so I'm just saying. All right. Anyway, let's get to the next question. Let's see. It comes from Ricky. No, it comes from Jason. Good morning. I've been listening to your podcast for several months and love listening. I have a question for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. My family's going in September for 6 days. We have 6-day passes along with Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party one day. Our first day is the Halloween party, and we're curious, should we only do 5-day passes since we have the event in the evening? Walt Disney World hasn't given the times, but we're hoping for the early 4 p.m. party time. The kicker is we have Cinderella's Castle reservation at 4:30. As of right now, Disney hasn't announced when guests can arrive. Should we just keep the 6-day hopper passes or possibly take the risk to lower to 5-day hoppers? Their recommendation is you can always add when you get there, you just can't lower. Since it's our first day at the parks, I want my family, 2 and 7-year-olds, to enjoy the festivities and not be so tired. Thanks so much for the great entertainment each week, Jason. All right, so here's my advice on the tickets. Here's the thing you got to consider, because I get this question quite a bit. Like, how long should my tickets be? Remember, you got to have the length of tickets if you want to make fast passes. So if you want to make fast passes for 6 days, you need 6 days worth of tickets. So that's your main concern there. The difference in cost between a 5-day and a 6-day park hopper ticket is very minimal once you get out that far. So you're not paying that much more for the 6th day, and you're going to get a full day in the parks if your schedule allows that. So I always say, once you get to like 5, 6, 7 days, that extra day is a bargain. It's totally a bargain. The one thing you usually can for the Halloween party, get in at 4:00. Between 4 and 7 is kind of a little free time there because the party officially starts at 7. If you have Cinderella's roll table at 4:30, I think you'll be fine. I mean, you're going to get to kick off the party the right way. You have a full belly, great meal. I don't know. Am I missing anything, Ricky? I mean, I would say just, if you want to make the fast passes for 6 days, keep the 6-day hopper. If you don't worry about the fast passes for more than 5 days, you could always have that day when you get there if you need it. It'll be the same price.
That's true. Yeah. And they should let you in at 4. I mean, it's been that way for a very, very long time. So, while it's not official out yet, they should definitely let you in at about 4. So also kind of a funny story. Jason knows my brother. So as we found out chatting on Facebook Messenger. So he kind of knows my brother. So it's kind of cool. Yeah.
It's a small world.
It is. Yeah. He actually texted my brother. He's like, I didn't realize that your sister was on that podcast that I listened to.
That is funny. All right. Next question comes from Jenny in Dallas. Hey, Mike and the ladies, I have a question about our weekend trip coming up in August. We fly in first thing Friday morning. We're headed straight to Epcot and Hollywood Studios on Friday. Saturday is our Magic Kingdom day. Obviously, we're trying to maximize our time in the park because we only have 2 park days. Our big question is for Saturday. We're going to rope drop the Magic Kingdom. Then we'll take a midday break. We'll eat an early dinner somewhere on the monorail loop and then head back to the Magic Kingdom for fireworks and the Disney After Hours event. As we're trying to maximize our time in the park when we get back, we don't want to wait an hour for a good happily ever after spot. Would you suggest going to the dessert party? I know this is the craziest park day ever and it'll be super expensive, but it would guarantee our spot for the fireworks. We would want to head out immediately following fireworks to get to the Disney after hours. Will we miss anything to do with the dessert party? Also, do you have any dinner recommendations for casual, relaxing places for 2 adults to grab dinner around the monorail loop? We're thinking of Territory Lounge, but would like your other ideas. Thanks, Jenny. First of all, I know that Jenny's a podcast listener because she just nailed Pam's suggestion of Territory Lounge right there.
Right?
That's right.
I'm going to throw in 2 other places, possibly the Wave or Kona. I think are good places. You could probably get ADRs easily, and those are good meals both on the monorail loop. What do you think about this? I mean, this is going to be a nuts day. They're going to rope drop Magic Kingdom and still do the Disney After Hours that night. Pam, I mean, what thoughts? This
is a challenging day. I'm just going to say this, right? I'm not sure that I want to come and be involved in this day. I think I may be tired and crabby by the end. But some people are so much better at this than I am. So I love it. I love the ambition here. I'll say that I actually really enjoyed the dessert party. And the one that we went to, we did the one where you had the desserts prior to the start of the fireworks, and they ushered you into the Rose Garden area, this little gardeny area, so that you had a great spot from which to watch the fireworks. And I loved it. I loved not having to jockey for position. I loved, getting some desserts right before did that. That was awesome. And having a place to sit down and eat them too, because you got to eat them kind of up in that Tomorrowland Terrace area. So I really enjoyed that. So for that reason alone, I felt like I felt like I got my value, from this package. I really, really did enjoy it. If you book the one where you have the desserts before and then go to the viewing area, if you leave right after the fireworks are over, you won't miss anything. Nope. There's a new one now where you go to the viewing area first and then have the desserts after. If you were to book that one, then you would miss something because then you wouldn't get to do the desserts, and that's part of the deal. So make sure that you do that.
None of the whole experience, fireworks are fun and everything, but I mean, ice cream.
Exactly. And so I think too, I would absolutely recommend the one where you go to the seating area or where you go to the kind of standing room area in the garden, as opposed to the one where you sit and enjoy the fireworks from Tomorrowland Terrace, because I feel you get a much better view of the fireworks and it's definitely worth it. Is the dessert party critical? No, it's not. I mean, you can find good places even without it. But I just felt like it really enhanced our experience.
I totally agree. I mean, I think that you totally feel like the dessert party is a splurge. Not necessary. You'll still see the fireworks, you know what? And you can make your own dessert party. I mean, go to the ice cream parlor and get an ice cream and stand there. You're not going to have to wait to get a good spot. That's the whole thing, is time is money. We've said this for years and years. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have to invest time for a great spot for Happily Ever After, or book the dessert party and you have a guaranteed great spot. Nobody bugging you. So there you go. And let us know how that goes. That is a long day, but
it is. That's admirable.
It is. You should get a badge at the end of that thing. All right. Cool. Whenever anybody in the Facebook chat starts their message with help, we have to go there. So let's see what it says. We're going down in July and have our first day in Hollywood Studios, knocking out everything early and, well, don't knock stuff out, but knocking out everything early and meandering, great big words, in Toy Story Land. We have a 7:45 Fast Pass for Slinky Dog. I like that we have a new attraction to talk about. We will take a midday break, but where should we eat with a table service credit before we come back to the parks? We're staying at Caribbean Beach and have our own transportation. So, Chris, I don't know if you're asking that where you should eat in the studios or just in general. So they have a 7:45 Slinky Dog in the evening. So I guess they're taking a midday break. So I guess they're eating before they go back to the park. They're at Caribbean Beach, so not great table service there. Will be probably in the future, I would say, but probably not yet. I'm trying to think. Ricky, what do you think? I mean, because really, you got your own car. You can go to any other resort. I mean, I wouldn't go to another theme park. I go to a resort, pretty close resort there. So Caribbean Beach is kind of in that Epcot. It's actually pretty close to Disney Springs, too, if you think about it. It's not very far. Give them some place to eat. They're hungry. Come on.
All right. All right. So if they want to go to Hollywood Studios, I am going to suggest 50s Primetime. I think that that's going to be a really good option for them. I think they'll have a lot of fun, and it's just good food. And I think that's going to be the right choice. Gosh, as far as outside of Hollywood Studios, that does get tougher. I'm not gonna steal Pam's. We're at Disney Springs, so I'm gonna go with another favorite of Pam's, and that is the Boathouse. I think that that's a really good option. They've got a very varied menu. I don't know why I wanted to say variety menu. That's not right.
Related.
I mean, yeah, kind of. And so they've got a varied menu, and I think it's got something for everyone. So I'm going to go with the Boathouse at Disney Springs as my other option.
And I'm also like Tim's in our chat saying Disney Springs. I agree. You know, like take that midday break, head over to Disney Springs, say 4:00, meander around, and you don't have to pick something today. I mean, you could do Deluxe Burger, you could do Blaze Pizza, you could do Marmoto's Street Window. Pam, I mean, I think that's your best option there.
Well, but she said she wanted to use a table service credit. So one thing to note is that Morimoto's for lunch is just one table service credit.
That's true.
But it's 2 at night. So you get a really fantastic meal there at Morimoto's if you like that kind of food. And again, look at the menus, make sure you get to, pick something there. The other thing is, I mean, this is a little out of the way, but we mention this place often. You could go over to Sanaa for lunch, and that would be a 1 credit option. It would also give you an excuse.
That's true.
To see Animal Kingdom Lodge, which is just stunningly beautiful and has so many things to do. So give one of those a try. Maybe you had a lot of good suggestions.
And Eric's chiming in the chat with beaches and cream, possibly, because think about it. If you're at the Epcot area resort, you're not very far from Hollywood Studios. So you also would have, you could do not Captain's Grill. What's Ale and Compass, maybe?
Ale and Compass,
Ale and Compass, yeah.
That you could also do. I'm trying to think. Boardwalk, any place around there? ESPN, maybe. They take dining credits, I think. Well, I think it's only. I know it's only 1.
And the burger place, too. Big River.
Big River Grill, yes. All right, so here we got a question from Tara Fitzpatrick in the chat. Best holiday atmosphere in a restaurant, resort or parks or springs, or both? Looking at booking December reservations. So, Ricky, what says holiday atmosphere besides Trails End? Because it says that. I'm just kidding.
That's actually tough. Like, yeah, that was going to say Liberty Tree Tavern, but that was the only option I was thinking of that really says holiday.
Is there not like any restaurant at all that kind of has like some Christmas flair to it? I mean, are we missing?
No.
I don't. 50s has they all have some great decorations. Like think about 50s. It has that awesome tinsel tree that they put in the lounge, and they kind of really decorate for that. I love to see, the decorations there. But other than that, it's hard to really think of like restaurants that have specific holiday decorations.
That is
interesting. One. Yeah, Tim in the chat says Beer Garden at Christmas was great.
Really?
You got the Oompa band, so maybe they play Christmas tunes. I don't know. I'm guessing.
I listen to a podcast, and maybe some of our other listeners do. It's Leo Laporte, and he has a guy on that's the AV specialist every Saturday. And what he does, he's a tuba player. That's what he does.
That's awesome.
And so every Christmas, he gets together 99 other tuba players, and they do what's called Tuba Christmas, and 100 tubas all at once playing.
That's cool.
Wow.
In LA, so that's pretty cool. Off topic, but pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our next email. It's from Sean about 2019 planning help, which is very timely for right now. It says, Mike, Ricky, and Pam. Mike, you previously helped me with the trip, and I ended up not being able to go on because my mother-in-law is battling cancer. But great news. The prognosis looks great. We're planning for September of 2019. We're picking September to hopefully miss the craziness, which will be Galaxy's Edge, since it will be so many people and the first time for my parents. My wife and I still probably will try to sneak down Solo once it does open. See, like what you did with Solo. I do plan on going through an agent because there will be 10 adults and a 1.5-year-old, and just typing that has added another gray hair on my head. My question is, I like that. I already have a trip planned for this September of 2018, and know that Disney usually offers attractive bounce back incentives. Are they strong enough where I should wait until I'm there to book, or should I book now? Complicating things is that we're looking at a family suite that is wheelchair accessible for my youngest sister who suffers from cerebral palsy. I do not want to lose out on this because I can't imagine there are too many of these rooms available. Also, we plan on upgrading our tickets to annual passes this September. So if we do book early, will we be able to apply any annual pass holder discounts to our 2019 trip? Thanks so much. We've done 6 trips in the past 24 months, and I've used tidbits of the podcast for each trip. Love listening to you guys on my way to work. Sean is in Philly. Well, he says now Baltimore because they just moved there. All right, so Pam, talk about this, because I think the message I want to get out to guests, and you're more of an expert than I, because you have the company, but I say this, that 2019 is going to be a year that's going to be very different. It feels more accelerated to me than like the past 5 because of the Galaxy's Edge, which we now know is going to be late 2019. But still, I would say if you want something, book it now. That's just what I'm saying. And I'm not saying it because I'm a travel agent and that kind of stuff. But the thing about tickets and dining plans, this is what I tell guests. Those are basically unlimited. Like, you can't run out of tickets, and you're not going to run out of dining plans. You can add those onto any package. That they're not scarce. However, there's a set number of rooms at Pop Century. There's a set number of rooms at Beach Club. Any resort you say. So if you don't have that room, it's once it's gone, it's gone. So for certain dates. So I say book early, but give me some expert advice here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm absolutely with you. First of all, I'd like people to book early for so many different reasons. First of all, for packages, it's only a $200 deposit. You can make payments for a longer period of time. I think that helps people a lot of times with their budget to be able to continue to make payments. You have best access to the availability and the room type at the resorts that you may want. And that is going to become important, especially in 2019. It's already become important in 2018, as we've seen different resorts and even resort categories become unavailable on certain days for certain specials. So that's important to keep that in mind. As far as the bounce back offer goes, what I would do is book what you want right now. When you're there, you can always call your travel agent and say, hey, I'm here now. I want to see if the bounce back offer is available on a reservation, on a different reservation. We can check the availability right then. And then we can either, alter your existing reservation or transfer over to a new one, whichever one, Disney allows us to do at that time. But so you aren't missing out by already having something booked. It doesn't hurt you to have that. We'll just make it work. And the same goes for any annual pass discounts. I mean, if you get an annual pass discount and you later want to apply that to your existing reservation, we can do that as well. So it's easy peasy.
Absolutely. And I tell my guests, to shoot me a text while you're there, you don't even have to call. Cause I know we're getting away from it when we're down at Walt Disney World. I mean, I get that. That's what I'm looking forward to the most this coming week. But, shooting a text while you're waiting in line for Space Mountain, that's a piece of cake. Hey, Mike, we're here. Can you check on that? This is what we're looking at. This is our dates. Cause that way you don't even have to pick up the phone. Cause I know, it's easier to send a text. So that makes it easy. All right, let's get Vicky mentioned Whispering Canyon for the decked out Christmas.
That's true.
That's probably, because you can see the Christmas tree.
The whole lot is awesome.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, so next question is coming from Kevin. Hey guys, I've been a listener for a while, and you've given me some great advice and ideas for my Disney trips. My husband and I are headed to Disney World in December. I thought we missed it in December of 2018. I was scared it was going to say 2017. Our check-in is Friday, December 7th. We have a dinner reservation at California Grill that night at 5 p.m. Is it true we can go back to California Grill to watch the fireworks from the balcony later that night? Thanks, Kevin. Pam, this is your second home, so lay it on them.
Yes, and this is available to everyone, not people who dine there once a month like I do. If you have been to the California Grill that day, even if you've gone for lunch when they have the lunch, you can come back and watch the fireworks later that night from their very awesome catwalk. There's actually a few of them that stick out from different parts of that restaurant. So yep, absolutely. Just save your receipt, come on back and let them know. You check in on the second floor there and they'll usher you up to the lovely California Grill so that you can enjoy the fireworks. And
I wish our listeners could see my inbox with the questions, because we get a lot of them and we get to as many as we can. So here's the one that came in within an hour. It's from Brittany Van Pelt in Wilmington, North Carolina, 630 miles from Pam, by the way. She says, hi, Mike, Pam, and Ricky. Quick question for you. I have a 9:30 reservation at California Grill on a night where there are 9:15 fireworks. Will they allow us up there to watch the fireworks before we eat? I know you can come back afterwards after you eat, or if you eat early, but I didn't know if the reverse works. Thanks, Brittany. So I think it works both ways, right, Pam? I love that.
It does. Just show up a little early for your reservation, and they will let you dine up there, or let you go up there to see the fireworks. So yes, enjoy.
All right. Next up is Jen in Orland Park, Illinois. I'm headed to the world for a quick 3-day trip in August, and I have a question about my fast passes. On Friday, August 17th, I'm taking advantage of morning extra magic hours at Hollywood Studios. I just want to spend a few hours at the park that morning because my son and I are attending the Halloween party that evening. He's only 5, so I need to make sure he is well rested since we'll be staying up late. You know, that doesn't matter if you're 5 or 44. I mean, if I'm going to the Halloween party, man, I am napping. Just that's a little commentary there. My plan is to rope drop Slinky Dog Dash and Toy Story Midway Mania. I'm always careful for the that they're going to throw in the alien sauce, so I don't want to get the clean rating. I have an 8:45 fast pass for, here we go, Swirling Alien Saucers. We can call it that. Let's call it that for now. And that's SA. That's
The swirling alien saucers. I like that.
Instead of alien, I don't know why they decided to go with alien swirling saucers as the acronym. Seriously. But then again, they have Monsters Inc. laugh floor, so let's just be honest. That one's not any better.
You know, some like 17-year-old dudes naming these things. I'm just that's like a high school kid's. Check it out, man. Look what I put on them. Like I got. Anyway, let's get back. I have an 8:45 fast pass for Swirling Alien Saucers and 10 p.m. fast pass for Disney Junior Show. Here's my question. Do I have to schedule another fast pass in advance if I want the ability to schedule another tier 1 attraction that day? There is nothing else my son would be interested in that requires me to use a fast pass to maximize time, and I'm hoping to get him another spin on Toy Story Midway Mania using a fast pass if this is possible. If it's not possible, would I be able to make a fast pass for later that day in the Magic Kingdom? I'm hoping I make sense. Thanks for all you do, especially enabling my Disney addiction. All the best, Jen. All right, Ricky. So does she have to schedule all 3 to be able to do that? Because she wants to basically get 2 rides on Toy Story.
Right. Okay. So she does not. Once your first 2 get used, then you have the ability to make the next fast pass for anything that you want. You have to let either use the second fast pass or let it expire, go through and expire. You can't do it like if you've used the first one and then you're still waiting to go on the second one and you want to try to make the third one, then it won't work. It won't let you make that tier 1 fast pass. So you have to use both in order to be able to do that. Then I know there was another question, right?
Well,
if she wants to know
Magic Kingdom, I think
Magic Kingdom. Yeah, so you're fine. Once you've used the first 2 fast passes, it'll like it basically resets and it'll let you make that fast pass anywhere in the park. And the reason why it does that is basically because you've given up your ability to make your fast pass ahead of time, so now you're really at the mercy of whatever fast passes are available. So that's why it works that way.
I'd say it'd be a challenge to get a Toy Story day of, especially in August. I think it's going to
probably will be tough. Yeah.
Dreams do come true in the place Walt Disney World. So yeah, some dreams come true. Maybe not Toy Story Mania fast passes. I'm just saying. Don't know they put that on a shirt, but just good luck. All right, so we're time for the last question of the day, but I got to get this one up here because this is super important. Ray in our chat, he says, can you all help me convince my pirate Jackson that I actually booked our spring break trip today? He isn't believing me. All right, hang on. I'm zooming into me. Hang on. Let's see.
Oh, no.
Oh, wait, I hit the wrong button. Let's see solo here. Man, look, I'm really big. Jackson, come up to the screen. You are going to Walt Disney World. I booked your trip with your dad today. You're going, man. I typed it in. Set. I promise you.
Exciting. Exciting.
Jackson, send me your 7-year-old email and I'll send you the confirmation later.
That's awesome.
You're going.
You're going to Disney World.
Woo!
Cool's that? I'll be there tomorrow when the show comes out. I'll get it ready for you, Jackson. I'll tell Buzz and Woody to watch out for Jackson. He's a wild pirate. So okay, so the last question of the day, I got when you title your email first world problems. I got to get to it. So here we go. It's from Shantae. Mike and ladies, we're celebrating our 10th wedding anniversary by spending a relaxing 3 nights at Animal Kingdom Lodge Jumbo House without our children. And without is in all caps. Without. We have the deluxe dining plan and plan to have dinner at Jico, Le Cellier, and California Grill. We also plan to have breakfast at Boma, lunch at Sanaa, and breakfast before rope drop at Crystal Palace for strategic reasons. I like Shantae. You are awesome. You are awesome. Anyway, we are not sold on the menu at California Grill. My question is, does California Grill offer a suitable view of the happily ever after castle projections? Would it be better to spend those dining credits elsewhere and watch the fireworks on Main Street? We don't like sweets enough to justify the cost of the dessert party, and we can't do both on separate nights due to such a short stay. All right, so they're not sold on the menu at California Grill. So basically, I think Pam, what she's asking, because again, California Grill equals Pam Forrester. Is it really worth going there if you're not sold on the menu just for the view? I mean, you've seen it. What do you say?
Well, if you're looking for specifically the castle projections, I don't think it's a fantastic view of those projections. You need to be a little closer. And I think for folks who really haven't seen the fireworks a lot or who are really looking for that great view, the best place to see that is of course, right there on Main Street near the hub, and then you'll be able to see those projections. And, I get it. So maybe you want to use your credit somewhere else. Maybe if that menu doesn't appeal to you, then by all means move along. I think the menu at times looks different than it is in person. But I would say, you already have Jico and Le Cellier. Maybe if you like seafood, throw in Flying Fish there if you're looking for another signature venue. If not, consider breaking it up into 2 standard venues, maybe if you're using dining credits. There's so many good choices. I don't think you'll go wrong with a lot of them.
All right, she's got one more question to follow up there. She says, my next question is, what is your favorite signature dining experience outside of those that she mentioned? We're not opposed to brunch at California Grill. Do they accept dining plan for brunch? Thanks for all your help, Shantae. All right, so dining credit, does that work for brunch? Pam, I've never done it. California Grill brunch?
No.
I don't think it does. No. I don't think they're allowing any dining credits for the brunch there. But without that, so you haven't, if you are a steak person, or even if you're not, because they have some great options for those who are not meat eaters. Yachtsman is a great choice. I don't think that was on the list. In addition, Flying Fish is a great choice, and Narcoossee's is a great choice. And the other thing is, you want to look at the menus. Head over to the Mounts for Less, where they have all the menus there. Ricky and all the other folks that work on that site keep those updated for us.
Seems awesome.
Yeah, they are. They do a great job. And there's also, here's the other thing. Here's the reason why I gotta look at the menus on the Mouse for Less, because there's photos, people.
That's true.
There are photos of the item. And it's not great when you're hungry. Yeah,
that's true. Don't go hungry.
No, but it is great to be actually able to see it. Like, oh, so that's what the pork looks like. Like, right. I'm going to like that. I know I'm going to like that. So, I mean, that kind of thing. So check out the food photos over there too, along with the menus. But that's what's most important is picking some place that you know you're going to like. Look at the menus, read them, and pick something that works for you.
Yeah, so I was making Pam listen to the podcast on our walk the other night, the one where we talked about our favorite dining, just to get us ready for the trip. And Ricky, she's so fired up for that whoopie, not cushion.
Yeah, for the whoopie cushion. Yes, for that red velvet whoopie pie. It's so good. Just saying.
She thinks that whoopie pies officially have whipped cream between them, not icing, but she's all for the icing.
I think I don't know. That's a good question. I think that now, with the foodie time that we're in, any sort of filling in between is acceptable. Let's just be perfectly honest.
Icing, who cares? That's why I said
I know it was icing in the middle.
Yeah, I think originally they were typically like a devil's food and then had like a whipped cream icing, like a ho-ho type icing, right?
Yes.
And that's how whoopie pies, like you usually found them in that state. Now, of course, there's every kind of flavor under the sun.
Exactly.
Carrot cake and orange and lemon and strawberry and just everything. And the red velvet does sound good. Is it really good red velvet though? That's the thing that would. Because I'm not really an icing person, but I do like red velvet cake. So.
It's very good red velvet. And
I will have to do some investigating.
I will eat the icing out of the middle for you, Pam, and you can eat the red velvet cake.
That sounds a little gross. So.
I have no problems with this. I'm just saying. On Sunday, this is what we're doing.
You know what else, Pam? My wife, Pam, said one thing we have to split. She was reading on her iPad, and it's the churro ice cream sandwich.
Yes.
From Sleepy Hollow, dude, I'm all over that thing. Or it's like it's a churro, right?
It's churro with ice cream.
They needed something else that was good there. The line's going to be back to like Haunted Mansion at this point. Why didn't they have this at like the potato shack that's underneath there?
The potato shack.
Tomorrowland Terrace.
I'm pretty sure that's not the name of it, Pam, but that should be now.
That's what I call it. Shack. You knew what I was talking about, right?
I know what you're talking about.
We got to get out of here. I got a plane to catch. All right. So don't forget, today's show brought to you by our friends over at virtualmickey.com. Home of great iPhone apps like Theme Park News Disney Edition. Ricky, what are we reading about this week?
So we are reading about the long-awaited Terralina Crafted Italian has an official opening date. And guess what? It's this week. It's actually opening on Thursday, which is June 28th. It's inspired by Italy's Lake District and will feature dishes like chicken parmesan, spaghetti pomodoro, and meatballs, rigatoni calabrese, house-made lasagna, wood-fire pizzas, center-cut pork chops, and a catch of the day. It's got a rustic stone fireplace inside, an outdoor patio with veranda bar, 2-story glass conservatory that showcases the stunning views of Lake Buena Vista, and it's going to be open every day from 11:30 a.m. until 11 p.m. So it's finally open, people. It took forever.
It's worth
like
it.
seriously forever. So it should be worth it. Let's hope.
All right, so check that out. Other great stories. Again, Theme Park News Disney Edition, free app for your iOS devices. Grab it today over at virtualmickey.com. That's where you got to go, virtualmickey.com. Don't forget to support the show with our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Thank you so much for that support. And now is the time. If you're not following the social media, I'm telling you, this is the good time. Light it up. So it's at Be Our Guest Pod. And it's at Be Our Guest Mike. I'll have these ears on at Lambert International Airport tomorrow morning, bright and early. I'm wearing them on the plane down. So it's going to be fun from the get-go. So at Be Our Guest Mike and Facebook.com/Be Our Guest Podcast for lots of live videos as well. All right. So we're going to get out of here and let you get on with your Wednesday. We'll be back again on Friday. We're going to pre-record. We'll be down at the Toy Story, events this weekend. It's going to be madness. It's going to be fun. So follow along, please. But we'll always have the podcast here. So don't worry. We're pre-recording so you won't miss any shows while we're out of town. So for Ricky and Pam, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Wednesday. Time to head back to work or to Walt Disney World. And we'll see you real soon. Let me save that one. You guys are on fire, chat room. Good job.
Yeah, some good questions. And it was fun to be able to announce to someone that they're going on a vacation.
Ray's got it, man. He's gonna post a video. That's awesome. I love that stuff. I don't want to lose this. It's 1347.
Hi.
Oh wait, hang on. No.
Did he screw up again?
QS. Oh, but I misnumbered all the shows. Not to tell me I already have the show, so I just had to give it a different name. All right, the Deluxe Resorts.
Okay, and can we officially announce the 12-hour live show date on this one?
Yes.
Or okay.
Let's do it.
Just want to make sure before we started anything. So before I surprise everybody, surprise! I'm announcing it. So
because we're gonna have to not go real long on each one of these resorts because there are quite a few Deluxe resorts. So
we're not very good at that, but okay.
Right.
Why don't let's break it up. Why don't we do it into Epcot and Magic Kingdom?
But then the only thing we'll have outside of that, well, if we did, let's
Animal Kingdom Lodge. That's it.
We'll bring Animal Kingdom Lodge into Epcot.
Yeah, that way we'll be 4. Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
And then we'll do the villas later, like Old Key West and Saratoga and all that stuff. That'll work.
Sounds like the bomb.
Oh yeah, George has.
I see that.
I know what George has, and awesome.
Okay. All right, George, I'm excited. Oh my
Awesome.
God. I can't believe I can't. The panic has set in, y'all. The panic has set in. I'm just saying. So.
Okay, so this is 1348. Okay, here we go. Welcome to episode 1348 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the great agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. And of course, I'm in a chipper mood because I'm waking up at Walt Disney World today. Check this out. I'm actually waking up at the Grand Floridian, people, man. What? I know. What? That's something's wrong with that picture.
You're turning into me, Mike Rallman.
I'm rolling. I'm living my best Ricky Niblett life is what I'm doing.
I love it.
That's what I told my wife. It's like, I don't know, man. They put me there. That's where I'm going. So we're going there, and then we're going to be over by this afternoon. I'll be over at Coronado Springs with my Maya Grill, and that's my peeps over at Coronado Springs. It's Southwest. It's got Mexican food. That's kind of where my heart's happy. But I'll take one for the team. I'll let you know how to. This is gonna be the weirdest thing ever. But anyway,
you'll be fine.
Well, if you're listening to this on Thursday night, as the show comes out, if you're doing it Andrew style, we're down there getting some coverage of Toy Story Land, and we're gonna have all weekend. We're gonna be covering that stuff on our social media. So at Be Our Guest Pod, Facebook.com/Be Our Guest Podcast, at Be Our Guest Mike. Tune in and follow along. We're having a good time. Yes. Always fun when there's a new land at Walt Disney World. Haven't got to do this since New Fantasyland. So excited for that. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about Walt Disney World resorts again. I love going for the resorts. And speaking of deluxe resorts, that's what we're talking about today. So joining me, we have Ricky from a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com, TouringPlans.com, and the Mouse for Less. Happy flight this afternoon, Ricky, this evening. See you soon.
Yes, this evening. Yes. I am getting ready to hop on a plane, hopefully with no cancellations, knock on lots of wood. Yeah.
Wow, you're killing me.
I know. Well, I had a trip cancel back to St. Louis a couple weeks ago, so I'm really scared now. But anyway, I'm really excited to be down there for Toy Story Land and get to hang out with you guys. So super, super stoked. So yay!
All right, we have a big announcement coming up, but let's get Pam Forster. She's the co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel, currently residing in the wonderful Lake Buena Vista, Florida. What's up, Pam? How's it going? Happy Friday.
This is where my heart is most of the time anyway, so I'm glad that my body has come along as well.
I agree. Yes.
But yeah, so I hope that we're able to share some good pictures and videos of all this stuff. I have been reading more and more and more about Toy Story Land, and the more I read, the more excited I get. I'm looking forward to the different foods that they're going to have. I'm looking forward to the attractions. Of course, Slinky Dog sounds fantastic. The reports I've heard are it is incredible. Mm-hmm. So really looking forward to that. And I didn't have as high of an expectation of that as I do right now. So we'll see once we ride it. Looking forard to it.
All I gotta say, Mike, tachos on a trash can. Let's get the hashtag going. Hashtag tachos on a trash can.
Podcast, but it was live a couple nights ago. So yeah, tachos on a trash can. But tachos on Slinky Dog Coaster would be like the world's ultimate experience. But you're probably not allowed to do that anyway. So we have a big announcement, and then we're going to dive into the topic. So this can't be very long, but it's exciting. It's the best thing we do here on the podcast. Ricky, it's your baby. Let us know what's up.
It is. So we officially have a date for this year's 12-hour live show, and I don't have all the details set yet because the officialness came today. So I'm really still in the planning stages, but I wanted you guys to have the date so you could put it on your calendars. Cancel everything you've got on this day because we are here to raise money for Give Kids the World, which is our favorite charity. It's where those who go down to Disney and need a little pixie dust in their life because they are facing some huge tribulations, get to go and have a wonderful vacation. So the 12-hour live show this year is going to be, drumroll, no drum roll. Okay. It's going to be on July 14th, which is a Saturday this year. So make sure you are ready to help us raise money. I don't have the goal yet of the amount yet. I'm still working on everything. Like I said, we just literally planned it today. But if you have donations, I know I've already gotten people asking me, if you have donations for the auction, you can start to contact me now. Ricky at vrguestpodcast.com, or you can message me on Facebook or whatever. We're going to work on getting all that situated and put together. So now is the time to start with that, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and panic has set in.
That's right. Put it on the calendar. July 14th. It's a Saturday. We're going to be on the air 12 hours straight. And lizards, here's what I want. They go with the lizards. If every lizard could just give a little, 1,400 lizards right there. I mean, boom. And then we got all the listeners who are not lizards. We're going to make, this is the true magic we can make in the world. This is where we can counter the evil that happens, the bad stuff. This is bringing that karma to the people that need it the worst. I mean, this just makes you feel good. It makes them feel good. It's just, there's nothing bad about this. It's amazing. So please join us Saturday, July 14th. We'll get the times out. We'll get all the details here shortly, but we want to get into today's show. We just want to get that out there quickly.
Yes.
Today we're talking about, what's that one thing? We did this with the moderate resorts. What's that one thing that makes you pick a certain resort in a category over the others? Because again, like I said with the moderate show, when you pick a resort within a category, you're not only picking that resort, you're excluding the other ones for one reason or another, whether it's price point or geography, where it is, theming. There's a lot of things. But today we're gonna talk about Deluxes. We're only gonna do part of them because Deluxe is a pretty large category. We're gonna look at the Epcot area resorts. So we're gonna look at Yacht Club, Beach Club, and Boardwalk, and we're also gonna throw in Animal Kingdom Lodge so that we can make it a little bit more manageable. We know Animal Kingdom Lodge is not in the Epcot resort area, but it's an outlier by itself. So it'd be kind of a boring show if we did one show for Animal Kingdom Lodge. So we're gonna throw that in there. So let's start off with the place I'm going to get to stay for 4 nights this trip, and I'm very, very excited because I caught a pretty decent discount at this place, is Yacht Club. So, Ricky, and this one's kind of tough because Yacht and Beach Club are basically, for most people, the same thing. It's like, well, Yacht Club's gray and Beach Club's blue. There's not that's what I think. I used to think that for years. It's the gray one, it's the blue one. Why would you stay at Yacht Club over the rest in the Deluxe category?
Okay, so right now, and this is very arbitrary because of right now, but I would stay at Yacht Club as of this moment because it's the only one that's had the refurbishment, right? So the rooms have been completely redone. They look fantastic. They have the hardwood floors that Disney is starting to roll out. Everything looks very clean, looks very nice. I'm in love with, it's got the big TV. It's got lots of storage. It looks so fantastic. So I really think that the rooms right now are the reason to stay at the Yacht Club because they're just incredible.
Cool. That's a great reason. Now, here's my reason I'm going to give it. I'm just being very, very practical here. That if you want to stay at a Deluxe resort and, you got the reason we're staying, there's a couple reasons on this trip. And this is why I picked the Yacht Club over the rest of them, was I wanted to be able to not have to get on a bus after the 4th of July fireworks or ride with Ricky, because that was
right.
when I almost died in the stop, Ricky, no, I thought you could make it. No. And it was scary. So I'm paying a little extra to not have to drive. Ricky, I love you for giving us a ride home. I'm paying extra.
Next time I'm not driving you home. You're just gonna have to stay and take the bus. So yeah.
But anyway, so
you were in the same boat though. You would have gone too, and then realized that the car was coming. So yeah. Did we lose Mike?
Oh, I'm back. But okay, so I will say that the reason I picked Yacht Club is because many, many times you can find a discount there. It's a very discounted room. If you're looking for a discount in a Deluxe resort, Yacht Club is a good place to look. And I found a good discount there, but I couldn't find any of the other ones. And it was walking distance to Epcot. So that's why I picked Yacht Club. I caught a good discount. Because really, you got the Stormalong Bay you can use, That's my reason. So Pam, why would you pick Yacht Club?
So I love both Yacht Club and Beach Club. I think that, you guys hit the nail on the head that they share so many fantastic amenities. There's something about the Yacht Club that's just a tad quieter, maybe.
My wife is she says, do people with kids not stay at the Yacht Club? Are they always over at the Beach Club? Like, I don't think there's a rule. I don't think they kill, chase kids out of this place. I don't know.
No, I don't know what it is. I don't know if kids are just quieter there or not, if that's what it is or not. Maybe it's just, the whole atmosphere, but it's just a tad quieter. And I think that's a great reason to choose it. I also think, although, anyone's allowed to, come to the dining at the Yacht Club, that they have great venues like Yachtsman Steakhouse, and Ale and Compass is quickly becoming, a spot that we've gone to and really enjoy, putting it up on the sort of the must-do list. Really enjoy that spot. And also their quick service location, really enjoy that. So love the Yacht Club.
All right. So now, well, let's go to the sister resort. They are basically connected. You got the Beach Club. So again, not only excluding the category, but I mean, you're picking Yacht Club over Beach and the rest. So Pam, talk to us about Beach Club. What does Beach Club have that's its one selling point that you could say this is a good reason to consider Beach Club?
So on the same token, Beach Club is a little more relaxed. It is a little more laid back. It feels a little bit more like you're going to a friend or a relative's house, that's on the shore somewhere, that's down the shore. That's really how it feels. I love that kind of feeling. It's a little bit closer to Epcot than the Yacht Club is. And I mean, just if you're thinking about walking distance and where you're going to be coming from, it really is a little bit shorter if you're just going to walk into Epcot using that international gateway. So that's a great reason to pick it. But for me, I think I like the Beach Club because I like that decor in the rooms. That I think it has a really seaside feel. It feels like you're on vacation, and enjoy that one.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like if it was apples to apples on the price, I would pick Beach Club every time. But you know what? Like the experience is so similar, and I haven't stayed at Yacht Club, but I've been there. Like I'm expecting that the experience is so similar because what do I want to get out of I always ask myself, why am I staying? Like, what's my goals of that stay? And for this stay, it's to be able to walk out of Epcot on the 4th of July, to be able to go to Stormalong Bay and spend some quality pool time. I can do both of those things at Yacht Club just as easy as Beach Club. It's a few more steps, but it's going to fit my needs and I'm going to save a little money. So Ricky, where do you fall on this? Like, why Beach? What does Beach have that the rest of them don't?
So I think that the big thing that Beach Club has over the rest of them is really, I really like the dining that they have here. Like you said, it's a little more laid back. It feels like, especially compared to Yacht Club. It's not stuffy over at Yacht Club, but the dining feels a little more mature. Whereas, with Beach Club, you've got Beaches and Cream, which is, the most laid back place ever. It feels like, as with burgers and ice cream, and it feels so beachy and seasidey that it's perfect. And then you've got Cape May Cafe, which is the all-you-can-eat crab leg buffet. So, nothing says classy like crab leg buffet. I love it though. I mean, seriously, like it's
American Star Casino back in
exactly. That's the best. So I miss crab leg buffets so much. I got to tell you, like that's the reason I miss not having a casino nearby here in Atlanta. But anyway, I'm just saying, like the food is really good, and I think that they have a lot of really good options. Now, a lot of people don't love the smell of Cape May Cafe in the lobby, so that may be a deterrent for people, but for me it doesn't bother me, so bring on the seafood smell.
I think that's it too. I think that Beach Club, here's what I think too, because I want to kind of dissect this just a little bit, because it's hard to differentiate between the two when you're talking to somebody who's never stayed at either. Why should you pick one or the other? Beach Club to me feels more Disney, and Yacht Club feels more like it's kind of like Yacht Club has kind of like a geographical theme to me. Now I know Beach Club does too, because it's like a beach theme, but it feels more like you said, like family energy, like
right.
Like a vacation, where Yacht Club seems like, I guess it would be like maybe folks from the Northeast, how maybe they go to like what's one of those places you go to, like Nantucket or something. I've never been up there, but I mean, that's obviously the theme of it. But Pam, it feels like to me, that's kind of like it's more of like the adult escape place rather than woo, let's go, with 10 kids and have a good time at Beach Club. But I mean, it's all the same. That's the whole thing. It's all perception, I think.
It is. They are essentially, two parts of the same resort. And the thing that differs between them is not the room size. It's the room decor. It's the theming that differentiates, the two. So, I don't think that if you stay at one, you'll think, oh my gosh, I wish I would have stayed at the other one, right? I mean, I think you're going to enjoy wherever you can get that. And I think, to your point, Mike, where you found the discount is important for folks, absolutely. That's something to take into consideration.
Absolutely. All right. So let's head across Crescent Lake there to the boardwalk. What does I was thinking about this because I love Boardwalk is my favorite Epcot area resort, no doubt. Even, and I've stayed at Beach Club. I will be at Yacht Club. I don't imagine that'll surpass these two, but Boardwalk is where it's at. And I was trying to think about why. So Ricky, what do you think the Boardwalk has nobody else has? Like, what's special?
Well, this weekend is actually going to be my first stay at Boardwalk, right? Because that's where you are, Pam, right? That's
I am there, yes.
So I will be there as well. So this weekend is my first time I'm staying at Boardwalk. So checking that one off the list right there. So it's not the creepy doll chairs in the lobby. It's not the
3 a.m. They just march around that lobby. You got to be up to see it. Most people don't.
It's not the creepy clown pool at all. Like that's not. No, why they decided a slide with you coming out of the clown's mouth was a good idea. I have no idea. So anyway, for me, it really is. The fact of the matter is, it's really that. I know it's so simple. It's so easy. It's that Boardwalk area. I mean, really, you can't get that anywhere else. It's so unique. They've got such great dining along that little stretch right there. It's just, there's something so fantastic about having the bakery, about having the grill and brew, about ESPN, about having the margarita stand, the funnel cake stand, having the entertainment, everything. It's just, and of course Ample Hills, duh. So it's so lively, and I think it's a lively resort, and I think that's one of the really big selling points for it.
Yeah, to me, it's Ample Hills is the right answer.
Yeah, I knew Ample Hills was gonna be the right play. Oh, we so have to get Ample Hills this weekend. I'm just saying, I haven't had it in forever.
I'm gonna have Ample Hills in one hand and the churro ice cream sandwich in the other.
That sounds like a plan. I'm all in. Yes.
Living my best life. I'm just saying. Anyway,
I'm gonna live it with you.
with Boardwalk, it's one of those things again for me as to what makes it special is that I never even considered this one ever. Like I'd never even thought about staying here for the longest time until actually we booked that as a group rate for Marathon Weekend a couple years back, and we got a really good deal. So I was like, okay, I'll try it. And I loved it. And the rooms were great. Everything was great. The location's amazing. But I thought that I'd be like, because again, at heart, I'm like a Pop Century Riverside type guy. Like that's me. Like I'm a food court guy. I kind of like the exterior doors. I know I'm weird that way. Like it just feels motelish, which I kind of enjoy for some reason. But it was very plush. It was very nice. But I really enjoyed, like you said, Ricky, walking down to the Boardwalk, really literally steps away from my room, and just like going to the bakery and actually going outside to the bakery and then grabbing an item and sitting, because the weather was nice while we were there. So sitting out on a table on the Boardwalk, having my breakfast, like that, I had that breakfast bowl.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And like just the energy of the place. It's a great place to run as well. All three of these are. I just loved it. And the thing, again, getting back to not staying there, I saw this place on so many of the planning videos, like from the 90s. This is these are all like Eisner era resorts, and it just seemed like it was, because you look at it like that one part of the villas, the villas half of the resort, like where it says like Crest of the Wave, it's got the waves on the top of the building, and it just looks like a postcard. Now, I never stay in the rooms that overlook the Boardwalk. I'd love to, but I always stay standard. I'm not going to do that. But it just seems like it's so Disney to me. It screams like 90s Disney. So that's why I really love the Boardwalk. Yep. It's got an energy. So Pam, you've stayed here many times. So why do you pick Boardwalk?
So, I mean, for all these resorts, of course, the first thing that pops into my mind is location, right? For any one of these ones that we have talked about, now this is the third one. If you're going to go to Walt Disney World during a time where there's a festival at Epcot, this is a location that you want to stay at because you can walk to it. Mm-hmm. If you're going during a time where you want to see fireworks for New Year's Eve, the 4th of July, Christmas, any of those times, again, another great reason. But for me, I really kind of like the theming, and the Boardwalk Inn has an interesting smell. When you walk in, I know, right? When you walk in, though, there's something about the smell of that resort. It smells clean and good. And I love that smell. And I like the rooms at the Boardwalk. There's a lot of different odd little configurations that are available at the Boardwalk, different kinds of rooms. But I just like, being able to be that close to, not only the Boardwalk, like you all mentioned, but being close to Epcot. For me, it's about both of those locations because there's great restaurants in that area. We're talking about Flying Fish. That's an awesome restaurant. And to be able to walk to that is just great. The Boardwalk Bakery, really enjoy that. And as much as people make fun of that clown pool, when Hannah was little, that was absolutely her favorite slide of any of the pools. She loved it. So there's something about that slide that kids like, I think.
And I think too, we're forgetting, and I think this restaurant still always gets overlooked. It's Trattoria Al Forno right there at the boardwalk.
Yes, absolutely.
That's definitely trending in the right direction. That's becoming very, very popular. And also Eric mentions in the chat about the nightlife on the boardwalk. And, that's one of the things, again, I was working this week in the office, slammed, but instead of, as I get closer to my trips, I stopped watching, my regular programming, my MLB network, and I started watching some streaming videos of walkthroughs of the resorts, and it's just like background stuff. And they were, doing a walkthrough of the boardwalk, and they were talking about like jelly rolls and Atlantic Dance Hall. And one of the things I thought was like, there's going to be a lot of us down there. How fun would it be to go to jelly rolls one night? That, because
that's true.
Like, it reminds me of like a cruise experience, because we've done a lot of these kind of fun things on cruises, but there's not a lot of those opportunities at Walt Disney World anymore. So like a thing like jelly rolls is a plus for a place like Boardwalk, because you can walk right back to your room. I mean, you can have a good time that night and you can get back to your room within 10 minutes, not have to get in a car or anything like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to the outlier today for, this just for the purposes of getting 4 resorts in here today. And it's Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. And there's so many reasons why this one, because this is the easiest one, I think, because we could check off a list of 30 reasons why this resort has stuff that none of the rest do. But what's top of mind, Ricky, for Animal Kingdom Lodge? Why pick Animal Kingdom Lodge, besides the obvious?
I know. I was going to say, besides the animals. I mean, where else can you see a giraffe or, some zebra or something like that walking past your window? So I am going to say that Animal Kingdom Lodge has, honestly, I feel like such a fat kid. It really has some of the best food. I mean, seriously, like the food is the standout of Animal Kingdom Lodge in a way, because it's different than any other place you're really going to go. The flavors are very unique. They are African inspired, Indian inspired. And, as someone like me, who's actually a very relatively picky eater, although over the past few years, my palate has certainly expanded. But it's because I've tried places at Walt Disney World that I was like, let's try it. Let's see how it is, and that's really opened up my palate. So, Animal Kingdom Lodge really has some of the best food, whether you go to Sanaa or you go to Boma for breakfast or dinner, or of course, Jiko with, that, or the Mara, you've got that too, where, that's counter service, and, that you can, I mean, where else are you going to get couscous? I mean, at a counter service restaurant at Disney, there's just so many unique things. And of course you've got zebra domes, which are fantastic as well. There's really there's so many things that are, standouts that people go back time and time again for at Animal Kingdom Lodge, as far as the food is concerned, that it really is its own little cult of food, I think is the best way to describe Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yeah, you have, really right there, 3, top 10, maybe top 15, but for a lot of people, probably 3 top 10 restaurants on property anywhere in Jiko, Boma, and Sanaa. Great meals, meals right there in your resort. So dining is definitely a huge reason why to pick Animal Kingdom Lodge. Pam, what else?
So I think there are just so many great activities that happen, even outside of just viewing the animals. They have what they call bead activities at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, and we've mentioned them a few times on the podcast, but for those who don't know, they're little activities that they encourage children to come to by giving them a bead when they're done. And when they're done with all those, they can take the beads and make either a necklace or a bracelet or something like that with it. So it's really cool. Just great activities. They have great staff at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. You have to make a point to interact with the staff. There are folks from South Africa and other countries where these animals come from that you get to see there at the lodge. who love to interact with you. They're there for the purpose of making a connection with guests and sharing their experience with them. So make sure that you go ahead and do that. And I'm going to say it again, the smell, when you walk into that hotel, it smells good, it sounds good, and it looks good. That lobby is drop down gorgeous. Just love that. And I think that's a great reason to consider Animal Kingdom Lodge.
That's one of the things I was going to say, as far as like when we pick this up and we get to the Magic Kingdom area, Deluxe Resorts, and we throw in, Wilderness Lodge, not on the monorail loop, but in the Magic Kingdom area, is that Animal Kingdom is similar to that in the fact that the lobby is just an amazing sight to see. It's incredible. I mean, and the thing is, at Animal Kingdom Lodge, you want to spend time in there and interact with cast members and watch these activities go by if you're an adult, or have the kids get involved. And it's just, there's so many things about Animal Kingdom Lodge that it's a reason to stay there. You got two really nice pools that you can take advantage of. You got the main one, which is going down, but it'll be nice on the other side. You got the one down at the Kidani's is more of like it's a fun pool, but it's got a lot of stuff for kids. Mallory loved that one, like when she was 5 or 6. There's just so much to see. You got the animals, obviously, but you just have this one for Animal Kingdom Lodge. What I would say is the one thing that it has is it is an absolute destination resort over, say, a beach club, yacht club, or boardwalk. This is a place where you go, and it is a little bit remote. I mean, you are going to ride 5 minutes more on a bus to most places other than Animal Kingdom Park. But that's a selling point too. It feels like when you go out there, you have set up base, and that you're there and you are very secluded from the rest of property, which I think is a plus. When you stay there, it's kind of the whole idea. Another thing I would say about Animal Kingdom Lodge, just for families, they have bunk beds, which are a lot of fun. So if you're looking for bunk beds, you can do that at Animal Kingdom Lodge and Wilderness Lodge. Those rooms go quickly. So, get those, but great destination. Everybody should give because again, kind of like Boardwalk, Animal Kingdom Lodge really wasn't on my radar because I thought it was so far away from everything. I didn't want to be out of the magic, out of the action. But it's awesome, man. I love every time I stay there. All right, so before we get out of here today, one last thing I want to ask you both. So we're not going to talk about Animal Kingdom Lodge. We've talked about that, but Epcot area resorts, besides the obvious that you want to walk to Epcot or walk to the studios, what does that area offer as a whole? Epcot area resorts, Pam, what's different there than, say, the monorail loop? Why would you pick maybe staying in the Epcot area rather than Magic Kingdom area?
I think for us, we tend to spend a lot of time in Epcot, so that makes it a better form of transportation, our feet walking there, than the monorail for us. In addition, not only are all of these resorts, they're considered Epcot resorts, they're within walking distance of Epcot, but they're also within walking distance of Hollywood Studios. And that's a huge plus too, especially when we're going to be down there to experience Toy Story Land, to be able to walk to it instead of taking what may be crowded transportation is a big plus. In addition, there are also boats that travel to Epcot and Hollywood Studios and over to the boardwalk too, from the Yacht and Beach Club. So lots of great reasons to stay at the Epcot resorts, especially for transportation.
Yeah, what I would say, if I was going to answer my own question here before I let Ricky wrap it up, I would say that, you have 5 walkable resorts, like within each other, right there. So like for dining, you can go to the Swan, the Dolphin, the Beach Club, the Yacht Club, and Boardwalk. You can be at any of them without having to worry about any transportation within 10 minutes, which opens up so many possibilities, which is nice because, you don't always have to have a sit down meal, but like we've gone to the fountain over at the Dolphin, that's open to you. You got the Grove, or, you have other places that it gives you opportunities to, and you can walk into Epcot, like you said, and go to, you could do the Jocelyn plan and just eat at France. That's your resort restaurant.
True story.
That's what she does. All right, so Ricky, wrap it up. Why land in the Epcot area? What's special about that area as a whole?
So I think it's kind of a weird dichotomy. It's peaceful, but it's also like bustling. It's got an energy to it. It's like a peaceful energy. I don't know. Like there's definitely like activity going on, but because you're on the water, there's just this calming presence that's there too. So it's like it's this weird feeling of just peaceful energy. I don't know. It's hard to put your finger on it, but it's there. It's it's not tangible, but when you're there, it's tangible.
Yeah, both in the Epcot area resorts and the monorail loop resorts, the Magic Kingdom area resorts with Wilderness Lodge, like you feel like even when you go to bed, like you're in the middle of it, like you have not stepped outside of anything. Like it's almost like sleeping in Epcot or sleeping in the Magic Kingdom, right outside the steps. So
yeah, I feel like it maybe a little bit, in a weird way, a little bit more like more at along that lake area, just because like you can see the other resorts from right there. Whereas with the monorail loop, I mean, yeah, you can see the Magic Kingdom and stuff like that, but the other resorts, you can't always see all of them. So I don't know. I just feel like there's a little more of an energy along.
All right. Well, I'm down there right now, so I'm pumped. So that's today's show, but we want to hear your feedback on Facebook. So drop by facebook.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. And what is the one reason why you might pick Beach Club, Yacht Club, Boardwalk, or Animal Kingdom Lodge? We're here helping each other plan better Disney vacations. We want to think about new ideas for staying at new resorts. So put that out there. Maybe you're a veteran traveler to these resorts. Why do you pick those? And help those that maybe have never taken that deluxe splurge before. Maybe they want to think about staying there. But thank you so much for downloading today's show and joining us. Don't forget, today's podcast brought to you by the great folks over at the Magic for Less Travel. The 2019 packages are out there. The agents are standing by right now to help you plan a great 2019 Walt Disney World vacation. An exciting time to be down at Walt Disney World. Of course, still booking 2018 Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, Adventures by Disney, all that stuff. So just best advice today, drop by themagicforless.com, check out all the great specials. And while you're there, fill out that free no obligation quote form. Let them know you heard about them here on the Be Our Guest podcast, and an agent will get back to you right away. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. And do give us a follow on the social media. This is the time. This is the time. This is the best time to follow on the social media, because I post pictures of everything I eat, everything I see. There'll be videos. There will be all kinds of chaos on the social media. So check it out at Be Our Guest Mike, and that's Instagram and Twitter as well at Be Our Guest Pod, and Facebook.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. All right, so it's time to get out of here. I have to go have some fun. So we are going to have a killer weekend. The three of us are going to be together. I could not be more excited. So Ricky, safe flight. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. I'll see you guys tonight.
Yeah.
Pam hanging with you right now, so that's all good.
Yes, we are. Who knows what crazy thing we're doing?
Maybe having a big meal tonight, right? Maybe.
Yes.
Going big.
Yes.
All right, so follow along. I don't even know where I'm going. So who knows? Follow along. That could be cool. So anyway, for Ricky and Pam, I'm Mike. Wish you a great weekend. Whatever you do, stay safe, and we'll see you real soon. All righty. Let me save it.
Yay!
Episode 1.
La, la, la.
3, 4, 8. But you already used to. Nope. Okay, well, I will talk to you guys. So Pam, text me in the morning, or I'll text you, and we'll figure out that show. And then Ricky, is this a good time for you tomorrow night?
Should be, yeah.
Whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, the 5:30 time should be fine.
Okay. This is only have one. It's not a big deal. Whatever. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right. We'll see y'all.
All right. See you guys. You guys rock.
Bye.
Bye.